everyone, this is Kirstine from the Mustard Tree Trust. Well, hello everyone. I thought we'd continue on our series about heroes. This is a slightly different hero. I wonder if you can work out who it is that I think is the hero in this story. There was a soldier called Naaman. He wasn't just any soldier, he was actually the commander of the Syrian army. Dum, dum, dum! He was very powerful and he was very rich, and he could send any soldier out to do anything he wanted and he would go. But he was also ill. He had skin that was covered in sores. All over his skin, his face and his hair everywhere. People felt sorry for him. I think God felt sorry for him. And he was worried about this skin condition. Now he was actually one of the people in the army that had probably gone into the promised land and taken God's people out of that land. You see, they beat them in battle and they would have taken some of their boys and girls and their men and women back to their own country and back to Assyria. And in Syria, these people would have been made to be servants. Now, Naaman had a servant girl. Well, actually, his wife had a servant girl. And one day, even though she would be a little bit frightened, she said to her mistress, "You know, back in Israel, there's a man called Elisha. He's a prophet. He's a prophet for God. And God uses him to do, well, lots of things. But one of the things he does is he makes people well again. I wonder if my master Naaman can go and see him." Well, Naaman's wife told Naaman, like a good wife would. And of course he decided that he would go and see this man. He'd seen everybody else and still wasn't healed. So what harm would it do? Of course he didn't go alone. Oh no. He took servants and some horses and a chariot full of treasure. And the treasure would be to pay Elijah. Would be like to say thank you to Elisha. Or maybe just to pay him, to ask him to help him. Anyway, when he got to Elisha's door, he knocked on the door. Now imagine, it's a very, very strong man in all of his gear as a soldier. He had other people with him. He had his horse and chariots and treasure. He would be expecting a big, big welcome, wouldn't he? I don't think he'd be very happy when the door opened and it was a servant of Elisha. And the servant said, "Oh, hello. Apparently my master says if you want to go and be well, you have to go and dip yourself in the Jordan 7 times and then shut the door." What was that all about? I'm sure Naaman was not impressed. I mean, Elisha hadn't even come to the door himself. He hadn't been asked into the house. What was this all about? And the Jordan? The Jordan? Why would anybody want to go and dip themselves in the Jordan? "It's filthy," he shouted. "I can throw myself into any river back in Syria. It'd be far better than this, but I'm not going to put a single toe into the Jordan." I think he was probably angry. I think he was probably a bit tired. And I think he was a bit surprised that Elisha didn't want to know who he was. However, one of the men who were with them was a bit braver than the others maybe. And he said, "Excuse me, sir. If the prophet had told you to go and do something difficult or brave or hard, would you have gone off and done it? Of course I would. Any soldier would go off and do something brave or difficult or hard or tough. Yes, of course I would. Then why don't you just put yourself in the river? It's not hard. I mean, it can't hurt you. It's just because it's something easy. Just go and wash in the river. Well, Naaman thought about this a little bit and he thought, actually, you're right. But really? The Jordan? Now the servant had said he had to go to the River Jordan and dip himself 7 times. So Naaman took off all his armour and his posh clothes and he went into the Jordan River and he dipped himself right over his head. 1, whoa, it's a bit chilly. 2, 3, his skin still looked the same. 4, 5, 6, it came out spluttering. Yeah, his skin was still the same. 7, and when he came up and he cleared his eyes, he looked at his skin. It was clear. And as he started to walk back out to the side, his men could see that it was clear as well. And they let out a cheer. Wow! I'm healed. It's happened. Well, Naaman got dressed very quickly after that and he ran back to Elisha's house. And this time when he knocked on the door, Elisha came to the door. And he went, look, I'm healed. Quick, take all this treasure. This is amazing. I need to pay you. Thank you so much. You've healed me. And Elisha said, no, I can't take your money. It was God who healed you, not me. Thought Naaman. I need to worship this God. I'll tell you what. And he's bent down and he scooped up some earth, some soil. He probably put it in a box or something. And he said, I'm going to take this home. And every time I can stand on it, I'm going to stand on it and worship your God too. That made Elisha much happier than any treasure could have ever done. I think it probably made God happy too. So that's the end of my story. Who do you think is the hero in that story? Is it Naaman? Yeah, he didn't do anything brave. Is it Elisha or God? Well, I actually think that the hero in that story was the little servant girl. The Bible doesn't even give us her name. But she was brave enough and had enough faith to know that God could help Naaman. God could help him. And that's why she sent him to Elisha. And to begin with, he was a bit full of himself. He was too proud to go in the river. He thought he was better than everybody else. But Elisha showed them that with God, you have to be humble. But God can heal you. So it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how small you are. You need to just speak up. You need to keep saying things. You need to keep standing up for God and reminding people how He is a miracle maker and He can help. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that story. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.